Good morning. Welcome back. I wanted to take a minute to do a closure video for the Hurricane Beryl series. Something happened yesterday while I was at work, and I had to bring it to you because it was pretty touching to me. And there's a lot to be said for faith-based operations versus government helping after a tragedy. We had, like I said, we had a Hurricane Beryl come through, then we had a tornado, and you've seen the videos of me doing the cleanup and the progress with that. And there was just some things that were too difficult for me to manage on my own. So I reached out. I didn't reach out to government, but I did reach out to a volunteer organization that helps during disaster relief, and that was Samaritan's Purse, which is like I said, a volunteer organization that's run through Franklin Graham Ministries. And if you know Franklin Graham, he was the son of Billy Graham, and they've organized quite a relief effort to help people in time of need. Well, they showed up yesterday. 5 guys showed up, and the pre-work had been done. The people that came before them did the assessment on what I needed, and so they knew what they needed to bring with them to do what needed to be done here. And they showed up yesterday, 5 guys, and they took care of things, and far better than I could have hoped for. But they showed up. They introduced themselves to my wife. She had not met them before, and they started with a word of prayer before they did anything, and went and tackled it. And I'm going to shoot footage of that. I'll put it in here. All right, so we'll just do a little walk and talk. And my assistant Connor is with me. There he goes. He's going to show me all the work they did back here. And I'll have to find a picture of what I did before and the condition it was in before they got here. But all of this area here was where that pile, that down tree was at, and it was all cantilevered into the ground, and I couldn't get, I was using a floor jack under to try to take some stress off of the joint so I could cut it, and the chainsaw got stuck and snapped the chain, and just a mess. So this freshly cut area here, it was all covered with debris and trees and boughs and branches and twigs and everything, and the fence was laying on the ground. They did re-erect the fence. It got me so that the dog can stay in the yard anyway, and I'll go ahead and replace that fence, but this was all laying flat underneath the trees. So this was a 30-foot tall dead tree. It'll show, it's in the other videos, you'll see it, but it was just starting to rot because it was dead. It looked like a giant totem pole, and so they cut that down. And I told them when they came to do the assessment on it, I said when they're done with it, just throw the wood back here in the corner. They didn't do that. They took it all out to the curb. Where do you see that pile? That's crazy. It's crazy the amount of work that they did, these 5 guys, in 2 hours. And if you remember from the other videos, I had stacked up on the picnic table all of the wood, and I was talking about doing a campfire, or a couple campfires. That table was covered, and the benches were covered with 18-inch pieces of wood, that I had cut up. They took all that to the curb. Just insane. I'm so impressed and so grateful. I'm gonna go out and shoot that. I'll shoot the video of that front pile. I'll show you what's going on. All right, Connor, come on. All right, so back out front, and this is what was cut up from the backyard. I don't know if you can. I don't know if the camera's going to show the size of this stuff, but this stuff is big. Some of this stuff is really big in diameter. But this was the pile that they brought out front. They hand carried everything out. And wheelbarrow. It's just crazy. Yeah, it doesn't look, I don't know if you can tell or not, but this is a ditch. This is a drainage ditch down here that runs along the roadway. And they piled it up. Walking up the bank. All this was what was left behind that I couldn't get. And they got it all tackled in 2 hours. I'm so blessed. This is awesome. The power of prayer, the power of people, helping people, not governments. So when they were done, they had another word of prayer with her, and she asked, you know, what was owed, if any money was owed, or donation. And they said to her, instead of giving you a bill for the work, we would like to give you this Bible instead. And they presented her with a very nice Bible. It's done inside. And I don't know if you can see this, I'll get a little closer. But each one of the workers took time to write little notes of encouragement and just, this is their cover sheet with their relief truck at the bottom. It's all built into the Bible. It's a really nice Bible, a really nice gesture, and it says a lot for what humans can do for each other. Sorry, a little bit emotional. It's very uplifting. I'm not an overly spiritual person. I was raised in the church, and I know what's right and wrong, and I try to live my life accordingly. But I'm 60, and I think I know better than God sometimes, and kind of a John Walton approach, I guess. But I was really, really touched and really moved by what they did here, and the way they conducted themselves. My neighbor Juan is 80 years old, and he likes to stay active, so he takes care of our property. He takes care of the trimming and the yard work, and I throw him some money, and his wife will cook food and bring food over from time to time when he's doing a smoke brisket or when she makes specialty foods. They're Spanish, so we love the Spanish food. It doesn't come very often, but when it does, we really enjoy it. So, but Juan is he takes care of the property, so he was involved out there too while I was at work. I didn't know about it. He joined in with the prayer circle, and when they were done, he went and did all the trimming back there, because the weeds had grown up and stuff, and the fence was down, and they re-erected the fence, and I was just blown away. It's just the power of people helping people versus waiting for government to come and help. And I try to do for myself as best I can, and then when things get overwhelming, I hesitate to ask anybody for help, because then it's oh, I helped you, now you owe me, and I try to stay away from that and just be self-sufficient. And sometimes it just gets to be too much. And in this instance, the church stepped in, and I'm just really blown away. But we've got good closure with everything that's been done, and a really good spirit uplifting. It helps keep us more positive with everything that's going on in the world and this country, and all the tragedy coming with the hurricane now on the East Coast and the Southeast, and the loss of life. We just really feel so blessed to be in this position that we're in, and fortunate that we have our health. And what else can you ask for, really? So that's all I really had for this video. But power of prayer, man. It's a thing. It's a real thing. So don't hesitate to reach out and open your heart up to people, man. All right. You take care. God bless. We'll see you on the next episode.